Hey, is that better?
There. It's a little bit better. You're still a little pixelated, but I can hear you now.
Cool. That's just maybe how I am today.
A little bit pixelated.
A
It's
little
fine. We'll
pixelated.
get through it, right?
In quarantine.
It's a whole nother thing that happens while we're in quarantine.
Yes, digital pixelization. It's strange.
Exactly, because everybody's using Instagram Live, and
Yeah.
Instagram didn't know that this many people would use the feature, and we keep crashing it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how many live streams are going on. It's amazing to see everyone making music from home and staying creative while this whole thing is going on. I mean, I think live music is more important now than ever. Connecting
Ever.
people, getting that emotional release. It's good for me at least.
Have you been able to have any jam sessions over Zoom, or is that not possible?
We're working on it. I think it's there's like a couple issues that we're working out, but I think we're gonna have something to show here pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Can you
cool.
give us any hints about what it's going to be?
Well, the 10th anniversary of the release of our debut album is coming up here on the 19th of April. So,
Oh my goodness.
um,
Happy anniversary.
thanks so much. So we might be doing something off that, you know.
Oh, that's awesome. And when you maybe might be possibly potentially doing this maybe thing that we're talking about, do you think you'll be doing it on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook? Where's the destination?
I'm not sure yet. I think we're still kind of working it out. The technical side is beyond my pay grade, so we're diving in with our front of house engineer, which is also awesome because all of the crews from every band, they're all out of work during this time touring.
Yeah.
Can't tour, can't set up shows. So having this to kind of do with them as well keeps them close like family. It's awesome. And we just released a T-shirt yesterday where all the proceeds, all the net profits go back to our crew and helping them survive this time. So
Where
yeah,
do we get the t-shirt?
that is in our merch store, theheadandtheheart.com. And yeah, actually any proceeds from any merch sales go towards them as well. We're just we want people to have that shirt and show the crew love.
So basically everything that's for sale on your website right now, as opposed to the proceeds going in your pocket, you're actually helping all of your crew and behind the scenes members at this time?
Yeah. We just want to make sure that they're taken care of through this and as best as possible.
Yeah. What do you think though, for so many musicians in maybe not as fortunate as a position as you are, I mean, how is the best way for the rest of us to help musicians who can't tour and make money the way they used to?
Honestly, it's buying merch. Right now it's buying records off their website, buying T-shirts, buying anything that you may have had your eye on. It's like that literally goes directly to the band and it keeps them afloat because we don't know how long this thing's going to go on for, and anything really helps.
So does
Especially
buying merch help more than say buying vinyl? Because I know Amazon just started selling vinyl again. Is there a difference?
I think it depends on your deal really with your label and then how things are sorted. I mean, I would typically think that a T-shirt would probably be the best way.
Okay.
But record sales have all these different benefits to them as well. So I think if you like something from a band, support that band really.
Yeah. And we're all in this together, so we all have to do our part. What's the most interesting thing that's come out of this moment for you? Like, is there a new skill that you've tried to learn or something you've gotten into, like puzzles?
Yeah. I'm trying to stay like musically productive and creative during this time. I actually set up like a drum room here at my house finally, and have set up a little recording station for that. And I think
cool.
it's kind of really upping everyone in the band's game when it comes to being able to pass music back and forth.
You went digital again. We're gonna get him back. I'm getting the spinny wheel of death on you right now, but hopefully it comes back in. Are you there now? Can you hear me now? I feel like I'm a Verizon commercial. There you are. There he is. So you were saying that you're getting more creative about being able to pass music back and forth as you record in different locations?
Washington.
Oh no.
I'm here in Nashville, so we're not able to be together in person, especially right now. But we're all figuring out ways to be able to stay creative and keep writing music. So we also had like 4 recording sessions booked with some of our favorite producers right before this whole thing kind of started. So that's kind of a bummer that we've had to postpone those, but it's
Who
something to look forward to.
who were you planning to record with?
Oh, well, we did a song with T-Bone Burnett, a cover song,
Mm-hmm.
and we're still figuring out when that's going to be released exactly. It's actually a Post Malone cover with T-Bone Burnett, so it's pretty sick.
Can you tell
um,
us which Posty song?
yeah, I'll just go ahead and do it. It's Sunflower.
Oh, that's awesome. Did
Yeah,
you like the Spider-Man movie?
I loved it. Yeah, and I love the song even more than I love the movie. So to be able to do that with like a legend like T-Bone Burnett is kind of insane. And he loves the song too. I think there's like a real emotional core at that song that
Yeah,
works well for our music. So it turned out great. Yeah.
that's really cool. Speaking of flowers, okay, I'm gonna do a really weird connection here. But honeybee, right? Bees
Yeah.
go to flowers. Are you on team Save the Bees?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we actually have teamed up with a few different honeybee organizations who are kind of helping save the bees, and we've done a couple fundraisers for them and just kind of donations as well. So, it's a song not necessarily about honeybees, but it gives us a reason to shine a light on that cause, and support what could be a very important part of the eco culture. So.
Absolutely. And for anyone in this live who doesn't understand what's going on with the bees, can you briefly explain it?
Yeah, there's like culture, it's colony collapse. So the bees are just having a really hard time surviving with the environmental situation that we find ourselves in this world. So there are certain organizations who are basically tending to hives and kind of just supporting the bees with their work. There's a great one out of Detroit called Detroit Beehives, and I would recommend people checking that out. It's kind of amazing inner city work on honeybees, which you may not think about as an important part of the ecosystem, but it truly is. So, yeah.
Didn't someone who's much smarter, at least than I am, say if the bees die off, that all of our ecosystem would die off in less than 4 years?
Sounds about right. Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So aside from figuring out how to do songs remotely, and you built a drum studio that I kind of want to see, but I'm guessing you're not going to show us in your house.
We'll do another Instagram.
We'll
live.
do another live. We'll get a tour.
I think the Wi-Fi is better back there anyway. So.
Have you been writing new music at all though?
Yeah, so right before the whole pandemic kind of shut travel down, we had all kind of convened in Nashville here, and we did about a week of writing and came away with some pretty awesome stuff. And that was the stuff that we were going to go record with some of our favorite producers. So now we're kind of sitting on it. We're figuring out if it's possible to kind of work with someone like a producer remotely. If that would even work, or how we want to do this. But there's a lot of stuff in the works. I don't think anyone's going to be starving for music after this. We're going to be putting it out there.
But that's exactly plays into what you were saying before, is that what's going on with quarantine is pushing technology for you in the music business, for us in the radio business, in order to keep things going. Our engineers are working very, very hard to make it happen. I mean, do you suspect that you'll do any virtual concerts of any sort?
Yeah, that's also in the works. So we're figuring that out as well, and how we can do that remotely without an issue called latency, which obviously music needs to be in time. So we're figuring that out now. There is technology that's available for it. I mean, I really see this as kind of like a accelerator for live streaming to become more present. And we did a bunch of stuff on our last tour last year where we were live streaming a song a night from the road, and we teamed up with a company called Nugs and actually live streamed both of our Red Rock shows
Oh, awesome.
last year, which were incredible. And you can still find those on YouTube if you're hungry for a live show. But yeah, we kind of were just dipping our toes in, and now it feels like you know, there's actually meaning. It's a meaningful cause to
Yeah.
beam live music into your home, because we can't all be together, you know? So anything
Yeah.
that helps people get through in this time, I think we want to explore those options, you know?
Well, I think that's the point of, jumping on and doing these lives like this, just to provide a break through people's days where they feel like close to something,
Yeah.
and they can connect with you, who you're a part of the head and the heart. You make amazing music and people love it. I mean, the last time you were here in Minneapolis, you were at the Armory,
Yeah.
and that was an amazing show. Do you have any favorite memories from Minneapolis?
Yeah, I mean, we've played so many shows in Minneapolis. It feels like a hometown to us, you know. Basilica Block Party, where it like rained and then the sun just broke through the clouds. That was incredible a few years
Yeah.
back. But I think the Armory it's kind of like a highlight for us when we're on the road because it's so beautiful. It's really well kept. The food is amazing for the bands and crew. It's a place that I look forward to. I think it's one of the best venues in America to play a show.
Yeah.
I haven't been on the other side, but it seems like it would be awesome for viewers as well.
I mean, the cool thing for us is that there's, you can be on multiple levels in there, and there's really big bars. So you can always get a drink. So once we could go back out and go to shows, I know a lot of us are going to be hitting that place up. But where's the first place you're going to go once you're out of quarantine?
I'm going to go to a little bar venue here in Nashville called The Basement. It's probably one of the most legendary places to play and to hang out. And it just feels like home. It feels comforting. So I'm going to hit that place up and just stay all night.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many musicians that live in Nashville. Do you feel like you're talking to them more now or communicating with other musician friends more?
Yeah. I think I really moved down here because I had a lot of friends here, and our management's here in town as well. And we kind of run all of our buses out of Nashville too. So it's just nice to be closer to all that. And then you get introduced to these amazing musicians who you've looked up to for so long, like Margot Price, who we were going to have on the road with us. Unfortunately, it got canceled. But yeah, it's one of the best music communities. And obviously, I think the whole world knows that. But it's even better to be here and to feel it and to get to interact with those people.
Yeah, I'm not a musician, but it feels like it went from New York to Seattle to Los Angeles to a little bit Austin and then Nashville. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's obviously Brooklyn had its heyday in like the late 2000s, and then Seattle, and when we were coming up, and there were a lot of other amazing artists coming out of Seattle. Then it feels like New York moved to LA. It got too expensive in New York. They all moved to LA, and now Nashville is kind of presenting itself as like a good middle ground. I think it just feels like home. So.
Is it, for someone who's looking to get into the music industry, do you think Nashville is the place to go and get your start now?
I think there's a lot of competition, which is tough, in a city like this. And I think that's always the issue you run into when you, like New York, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
I really like what's going on in Richmond, Virginia, which is where I moved from.
Richmond.
It's a smaller city, but it really punches above its weight. When it comes to music. Lucy Dacus is from there. I grew up there. J. Roddy Walston in the Business. Lamb of God. Natalie Prass lived there. There's just an amazing community there, and it's all kind of centered around Space Bomb Records, owned by Matthew E. White. And I would just recommend anyone who likes good music to check that out. But I think in some of those smaller cities, you have more of an opportunity to kind of connect with some of those labels and people who can help you further your career a little easier than in a competitive large city,
Yeah, and I would say the same thing too about Minneapolis. People are very supportive of the local scene here, and it helps. Artists like Lizzo came up here, and Prince, obviously, everybody knows. But
yeah.
But for anyone looking to come up and do what you do and drum, is there a certain drum kit or any type of equipment you would recommend?
I think just finding what works for you. Like, I think with any instrument, it's about kind of finding your unique signature sound, you know. And there are songs where I play maracas and I bash the drums with a maraca, and I think just kind of it could really be any drum kit, you know. But if you hit it with a maraca, it's going to sound pretty bad.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think just going for something, going for you, and not really worrying about whether it sounds correct or perfect. And I think that kind of applies to a lot of different things in life, you know, having the confidence to be like, this is me, I'm going to rock this, you know?
Keeping it authentic.
Authentic, yeah.
I like that. So can you share a little wisdom with us? I mean, would you have any words to say to anyone who's struggling right now in quarantine to help them get through these moments that we're all sheltering in place?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing, and it's a weird time for a lot of different reasons. But if you look back through history, you know, times like these pass. It's not forever. And I think we just need to hold on to that hope that, you know, one day soon we're all going to be able to go out, we're going to be able to hug people, we're going to be able to eat at a restaurant, go see live music, and get back to what makes life really worth living. But in the meantime, you know, enjoy this break. And there is
Yeah.
something kind of zen and beautiful about slowing down and not having to be in the rat race that we all as adults in America find ourselves in. You know, I think it's a nice time to breathe, you know?
Yeah. Has there been a certain app or social media though that you've really gotten and doubled down on throughout the quarantine?
I mean, speaking of breathing, I really love the Calm app. Uh,
Okay.
it's a
That's the
meditative.
meditation app,
Yes,
right?
yes. It's incredible. Like if you feel overwhelmed or you feel anxious, I just will put that on for 10 minutes even, and you know, it really does calm you down and kind of helps you put things in perspective. So I think that would be my app recommendation. Less social
Yeah.
media, even though we are obviously having a great time and it is important to stay connected, but you know, too much news and too much stuff like that can weigh on you. So yeah, it's about treating
Gotcha.
yourself, you know.
I love it. Well, where's the best place for anyone to find out about all of the things we talked about, the head and the heart might be getting into for the anniversary and live streams and all of that?
Yeah, go to any of our pages when you feel like using social media. Obviously, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Theheadandtheheart.com is where we release all new news, and you can sign up for our mailing list. You can purchase this merch that will go to our crew and help them survive these tough times.
I love
So
that.
I would definitely go there and check it out.
Okay, before we go, one last question. I just want to know, do you have a favorite song on Living Mirage? Do you have a personal one you love playing the best?
Yeah, and it's actually one that we haven't played live yet because we're still figuring out how to make it work. Um,
Okay.
I think my favorite song is Running Through Hell. It's got this kind of just driving groove, and it just feels like you're like in a Corvette with the top down in the desert. You know, and I
Yeah.
love that about it. So, yeah, that would be my favorite, and I think we're gonna work it up for
I
whenever
love that.
we're ready.
Oh, and I do have one more question. A fan did ask, they wanted to know, because we all know you're a fan of Taylor Swift,
Oh yeah,
which Taylor song you would cover if you ever had a chance?
I think I do Out of the Woods.
Okay.
I love the 1989 record. I know Ryan Adams covered that whole album, but I think we can put a good spin on it.
Yeah, you could. I definitely believe that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time. Stay safe, sheltering in place. We appreciate you, and I cannot wait to hear all the new music.
Thank you so much. We love you guys. We can't wait to be back in Minneapolis.
We can't wait to have you back, hopefully sooner rather than later.
I would hope so.
Bye.
Good
Thank
talking
you.
to you. See ya.